Hi everyone, welcome to day 2. So we're going to build a little bit on what we did yesterday, but today we're going to primarily look at the ability of your stomach muscles to twist you. So we're going to start lying down and recap on what we did yesterday. So your knees bent, hip width apart and both feet facing forward. And then interlace your fingers as you bring the hands to the back of your head, thumbs running down your neck, and close your elbows in. So nod yes a couple of times. Bring your chin down towards your chest. Remember, if those back ribs are not sitting on the floor, then putting a folded towel under your head right now would be a great place to help your stomach wall do what it needs to do right off the bat. So when you fixed your gaze on the ceiling, stay here with your upper body and just let the pelvis roll backward and forward a couple of times. So when you bring your lower back to the floor, I'm going to refer to that as a tuck, but I'll keep reminding you what the tuck is today. And then let the pelvis go forward into the tilt. Now remember yesterday how we said this motion really shouldn't be very big. You don't want this low back arch creeping up towards your shoulder blades. Can you find me a middle ground between this extreme tuck and the extreme tilt and settle into it? On your exhale, lift up to the point on the ceiling you're looking at. Now start to take your gaze forward through your knees. And on your next exhale, allow the pelvis to find that subtle tuck, a gentle tipping of the pubic bone to the ceiling, the top of the pelvis towards your belly button, and release back down. One more time. Exhale up to the ceiling first, then forward, looking through your knees. Exhale into a subtle tuck of the pelvis, and then release back and down. Now we're going to add on a twist to this. So for now, we're going to leave the legs out of the equation. I want you to bring the upper body up and forward, just as we've played with. Now, once you've found that second tuck, let your elbows open where you don't fall back. This is really important. You stay up and forward. Now I want you to turn your upper body to the right until you feel your left shoulder blade has come off the floor. Pause for a moment. Might you have just closed your left elbow in against your face? Open it back for me and see if you can twist your ribs. Now, if you think about your pelvis, can you sit back into your left bum cheek, the left side of your pelvis? Are you desperate to get out of this yet? And then come back to center and come on down. So close your elbows in, exhale up to the ceiling, and then forward looking through your knees. On that second exhale, that subtle tucking of the pelvis, open your elbows, don't fall back. Now take a twist to the left, trying to get that right shoulder blade completely off the floor. Hold into the twist. If your right elbow is currently against the side of your face, open it back out. And now can you sit back into your right bum cheek, the right side of your pelvis, come back to center and come down. Close your elbows in, exhale up and then forward. Stay there, open your elbows, take a turn to the right, try not to change the position of your elbows, sit back into your left bum cheek. Pause here, take 3 rounds of breath. Now as you exhale, can you deepen the tuck of the pelvis and lift up a little bit? Inhale, release a hair out of it. Exhale, deepen the tuck of the pelvis, curl up a little bit. Inhale, release out of it. One more time. And release out and come down. Okay, let's go again. Close your elbows in. Exhale up to the ceiling and then gaze forward through your knees. Subtle tuck of the pelvis, lower back into the floor. Open your elbows where you don't fall back. Now take a twist to the left, that right shoulder blade off the floor. Check your elbows, reposition them if they've closed in. Sit back down into that right bum cheek. Now as you exhale, deepen the tuck of the pelvis as you lift your upper body forward. Inhale, release back a hair. Exhale, bring the pubic bone toward the ceiling, lift your upper body forward. Inhale, release back. It's tiny. One more time. And release back. All right, now bring your knees into your chest. Give them a little hug in. Now remember, you can turn on your side to come up to sitting or hold on to the back of the legs and rock on up. So position your heels far enough away to allow your back to really extend up. Hands to the back of the thighs. And then remember that little push-pull that we did with the heels. So push the floor away and then pull the floor to you. Just this little shunting motion. So just a reminder, try not to do this of point flex the feet. You really want to feel like the heel bone moves in the skin. And then your hands ideally are picking up that the back of the legs are doing something for you. Now remember, if your back didn't like this much yesterday, you're going to keep your hands under the back of your thighs. If you're good to go, reach the arms forward. Push the heels down and forward and roll back. Now see, could you get to the back of your pelvis, which is not your belly button on the floor, and now pull your heels towards you and roll up and forward. Push your heels down and away, roll back, and then pull your heels towards you and roll forward. Now gaze on the horizon as you go back. Eyes are still on the horizon as you come up. If you can breathe at the same time, exhale back to the top of the pelvis, quick breath of air in, exhale, pull your heels to you and come on up. One more time, push the heels away, roll back to the top of the pelvis, quick breath of air in, exhale and pull back up. All right, so from here we're going to change position. So I want you to turn onto all fours. Position yourself so you open your fingers up an equal amount of space between each finger. You want to try and get your shoulders over your wrists. And then remember how we rotated the elbow creases to face forward. See if you can find that for me. And then your knees directly underneath your hips. Hang your head for a moment and bring your shoulder blades towards each other. When you've squeezed them in, notice if you also hunch them towards your ears. Can you keep the squeeze in but slide the shoulder blades down towards back pockets of your trousers? Now pull the shoulder blades away from each other. And notice how your head gets lifted, your neck gets lifted, your upper back gets lifted. Go again, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Notice how everything drops towards the floor. Now find me the reverse. Pull the shoulder blades out wide and open the chest out. Okay, now I want you to keep this feeling of being really lifted and open in your shoulder blades. Set your pelvis not in the tuck, not in the tilt, but a middle ground. Take your left arm and wrap it around your rib cage. Now, can you start to rotate your upper body towards where that left arm was? Pause there. And just notice, is your chin looking over your left shoulder? Could you line it up more to the center of your chest and try to turn your chest instead? And then come back to center and place that hand down. So elbow crease forward. You don't want to collapse down on the shoulder. Pull that shoulder blade wide. Take your right arm, wrap it around your rib cage, and now start to rotate to where that right arm was. Notice if your head has done more twist and your chin is over your shoulder, bring it back to the center of your chest. Then see if you can turn the ribs more. Come back to center and right hand comes down. Okay, we go again. So left arm wraps around your rib cage. Rotate your rib cage, but keep your chin in line with the middle of your chest. Push the floor away with that right hand. And now can you also think of the right hand sliding to the right to give you a little bit more twist. Come back to center. Left hand goes down. Right arm wraps around you. Push the floor away as you start to turn. But you could also think of that left hand sliding to the left, which will give you a little more twist. Come back to center. We have one more each way. So this time take a breath in, and for all of your exhale twist, keep breathing out until you're really convinced there's not an ounce of exhale left. come back to center, change over, right hand, take a breath in, exhale and turn away from that left side. And then come back to center, open the knees wide, turn the toes towards each other, sit back towards your heels and turn the arms over so the palms are facing up toward the ceiling. See if you can keep your elbows off the floor and allow your head to hang down. Take me 3 or 4 deep breaths right into the back of your rib cage. Can you feel those back ribs expanding and contracting? Because if this is an area that's pretty locked down and tight and you can't really feel your breath flowing into this area, then these twists are going to be the perfect movement for you to begin to open and get this moving. All right, now come back up for me and walk the legs through and come into a seated position. Now, your choice here, I'm a big fan of bringing the soles of the feet together to allow the hips to have a different experience to just always being in a bent position. If this isn't comfortable for you though, you can pick any leg position that works for you. More important is bring your hands into a prayer position, attach your thumbs to the middle of your chest and your first fingers come underneath your chin. Rock into that right bum cheek and then left bum cheek. So just a couple of times, weight shift one way, weight shift the other way, and see if you can find what feels like middle ground on those 2 bones. Take a breath in, exhale, and take a twist to the right. Pause in your twist and notice if the left knee came with you or whether you leant into the right bum cheek. Can you fix that? Now on your inhale, can you make the 2 sides of your waist longer so you're spiraling up into the twist and come back to center? Take a breath in, exhale, twist to the left. So if you can feel that you've shifted off one bum cheek, see if you can fix that. But now I want you to inhale and get taller in your twist and then exhale back to center. 2 more times. Exhale, twist to the right, anchor down into that left bum cheek, keep the left knee open. Inhale the sides of your body tall, come back to center. On your exhale, twist to the left, inhale, up through the sides of the body, come back to center. 1 more each way. So you almost want to think of spiraling round and up, come back to center. And then last one, remember how on all fours you couldn't really move your pelvis, you were just twisting your ribs? It's exactly what we're playing with here. And then come on back to center. Okay, now I want you to outreach the legs, and from here you're going to come to lying down. So if you need to use your hands on the floor to lower yourself down, please do that for me. And then interlace your fingers again and bring your hands to the back of your head. So now we've played with a little bit of rotation on all fours and in seated. Let's go back and see if that's helped to the movement we were doing before. This time we're going to ramp it up a little bit. So bring the knees into your chest. Flip your feet up as if you were standing them on the floor. So flex at the ankles and bring the shins up. Now remember yesterday how we played with that just right position. So start to let the legs travel away from you and then travel back towards you. So just right is when you get that small arch behind your belly button. Just wrong is when that small arch is cascading all the way up your spine towards your shoulder blades. And if that's the case, I would highly recommend that that folded towel pillow is under the back of your head right now to let your ribs really go heavy on the floor. So when you think you have it, hold there. Close your elbows in, find your gaze to the ceiling, exhale your upper body to the ceiling and then forward as you look through your knees. Now open the elbows, remember, no falling back. As you exhale, turn to the right, pick up the left shoulder blade and rotate the rib cage. Now notice if your pelvis moved, your knees moved or your feet moved. sit back into that left bum cheek, come back to center, rotate to the left. Same thing, we want to keep the legs really quiet, so sit into that right side of your pelvis, center, come down and bring your knees in. So legs go forward, you find your just right position, close your elbows in, exhale, carry your upper body up and forward, then open your elbows where nothing changes. Check in with that low back. Do you need to pull the pelvis into a subtle tuck to get the lower back to the floor? Rotate to the right. Remember, elbows don't close in on your face. Now we're going to stay here. As you exhale, bring the upper body forward a hair and draw the pelvis back into the tuck a hair. Inhale, and naturally some of that will let go. Exhale, deepen the tuck as you deepen the lift. Inhale to let it release. One more time. Let it release. Now come back to center. Hold on to the back of your legs. Use your legs to pull yourself forward a little bit more. This is not about having to go up so much as go forward. Now you're going to hold here. Take the hands to the back of your head again. Take a twist to the left. Check your elbows, nothing flapping in by your face. And then as you exhale, deepen the curl, deepen the tuck. Inhale, it releases a little. Exhale, deepen up into it. Inhale, release a little. One more time. Release a little. And come back and down. Take your feet to the floor. Outreach your arms to either side, palms facing up. And then walk your feet and knees together and let them tip over to the right. Now, it doesn't matter whether they come to the floor or not, but if it's uncomfortable for them to hang out in the air, then grab a cushion and stick it underneath your knees. And then your choice here, you can take your head and turn it away from your knees. I really like that, but if your neck is stiff, it's fine to stay looking at the ceiling. What I want you to notice, though, is I'm a shining example here of going too deep into the twist. So can you see how there's this round in the rib cage where my front ribs are really poking to the ceiling and way above the line of the pelvis? So if you feel that too, there's a high chance that you're overstretching in your lower back. So I want you to soften the ribs down. And if you can't, then bring the knees up slightly until the ribs really come down. All right, and then pause there. And I apologize about my feet, but if you don't know me, I never wear shoes, so my feet are just always permanently a bit grubby from walking up on the country lanes. And then come back to center, head center, feet come back. So same thing the other way, tip the knees towards the left. It's fine to cushion up the knees to let them passively rest there. Turn your head to the right if that is comfortable for you. What I don't want you to do though is any back arching. So if the ribs are protruding way beyond the line of the pelvis, then see if you can drop them back down. If you can't, bring the knees up slightly until you can soften back into that. And then bring everything back to center. And your choice how you come up, knees into your chest or turn to one side, rock yourself up. And day 2 is done. So tomorrow we're going to look more on the side bending aspect of the core muscles, and then we'll start to pull all this together. Good job, guys. You're nailing it down. Hi, I really hope you enjoyed working out with me. I'd love to send you my free 30-minute Restore Your Whole Body Pilates program. All you need to do to receive that is just click the link below in the description or pinned into the top of the comments. That will take you straight through to a page where as soon as you enter your email address, you'll be given direct access to the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's the fastest way to get a notification every time I post a new video here. And lastly, I love to make content, but it's really helpful to me if you can leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed about this video and what other content you would like me to create. Anything that you particularly want to work on, whether it's shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, just leave me a comment. I'll check it out and I'll see what I can do. Thank you.